In this episode, I have a message for fighters, which is something that I've always been saying, that you have to have a plan, but in this episode, I break it down. Welcome to the DO Boxing Show. I'm your host, Dameon Okposio. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. And in this episode, I want to talk about having a plan and breaking it down. So in Ontario, and I'll use Ontario as my main example, there's a lot more fights now. The Athletic Commission has changed. There's a lot more fights that are happening, but there's still going to be fighters that are going to be inactive. And when you are inactive, there are still things you can be doing to enhance your career and to stay in the public eye and to make things profitable for you. But the thing is, you need to have a plan. So when you're starting out on your pro career, even as an amateur, you can set out a plan and say, you know, when I'm training and I'm in the midst of having a fight, this is what I'm going to concentrate on. But if I get injured, or, you know, if I have fights that fall through, this is immediately the plan I'm going to be taking part in. So there's a lot of things that you can do. Number one, there is a lot of charitable organizations that you can get involved in, and I always recommend, you know, photographing or videoing anytime you're involved in doing something that's great for the community. Number one, it's going to get your name out there that you are involved in doing different things. Some people look at it as bragging or boasting that they're doing something positive, but at the end of the day, there's that expression, squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you don't show people what you're doing, how are they going to know? And you can't rely on other people sometimes to let people know what you're doing or the good acts that you're doing. Number one, if they're not fully aware of the different things you're involved in. Number two, they may not know whether you want other people to know about what it is that you're doing. And number three, you promoting yourself, doing something positive or giving back to the community can help encourage other people to also give. So on one hand, it could be looking as bragging or boasting or trying to show off that you're doing something positive, but on the other end, you could look at it as something that is going to be motivating for other people. I know that when I see other people give, it's very motivating for me, and gives me different ideas on ways that I can give as well. The other thing about enhancing your career, and the reason why I put the charity aspect there is because people are more apt to be willing to be giving towards you if they see you giving towards other people. Because a lot of fighters are selling their tickets, especially in the Ontario area. A lot of the fighters are selling their own tickets. So, you know, you're going to, you know, family and friends numerous times again, and even though they are getting entertained, they're coming to support you. But if you show that you're supporting other people, that can work in your favor as well. The other thing is, if you're going to be spending all that time in the gyms, fitness, watching your weight, and you are in fantastic shape, utilize the industries that are looking for people that are in great shape. So you can get an agent. You don't necessarily have to have one, but agents and managers get you more business. Yes, they cost you money, but they can also open more doors and create opportunities for you to actually make money or get exposure. But you can do it on your own too if you're willing to put in that work. And there's agencies or there's companies out there that even help you get a foot in and started, like Fitness Star Network. You've seen it on previous episodes of the DO Boxing Show if you've been watching for a long time. But the Fitness Star Network, fitnessstarnetwork.com, check them out. It is basically where a lot of fitness athletes go on to, and they can get scouted by companies to do commercials, to do modeling, and it's a great opportunity, number one, to get your name out there and to capitalize on your fitness to be able to make money, and also further to get your name out there. Because if you're not fighting, You could be an extra in a movie or a music video or a magazine shoot. And, number one, being extras and doing the acting thing pays extremely well when you get those opportunities. But also even doing, say, a magazine shoot or doing some modeling where it's not necessarily going to be paying you or paying a lot, it still gets your brand, your name out there. You have to develop those things because fighting is not enough. Fighting and winning is not necessarily the only thing that will make you money, and it's not nearly enough. And as more fights start to come about, it's great because there's going to be more opportunities for you to fight, but at the same time, that means that there's going to be a lot more competition, a lot more people vying to be in those spaces on cards, and you have to also account for what happens when you're on medical suspension, what happens when you get injured, what happens when you have contractual issues with a promoter or a group of promoters, or you're trying to figure out your next step, or you're in the midst of new management. Have a plan to utilize that time to grow your brand. If you're not sure, DO International Consulting, $50 an hour. I can help you set out a map, a plan, whether you're a manager, fighter, and get you going in your career. Or you can try a lot of the free resources that are out there. Google is awesome. YouTube is awesome. And of course, if you have any friends or family with business experience, utilize those contacts. You always want to go free first. And then if you need to utilize the resources that are out there, remember, you get what you pay for, you get what you put into yourself, and you should start with investing in yourself first if you want other people to invest in you. Thanks. I hope this episode was informative. Remember, you can ask us any questions related to boxing by sending us a message through Twitter at DOKPOSIO or through email okposio@hotmail.com. Don't forget to subscribe through YouTube to get every episode of the DO Boxing Show. You have to hit the bell icon if you want to be notified every time a new episode of the DO Boxing Show comes out. Thanks for tuning into this episode. We appreciate your support, and we'll catch you on the next one.